everything before me now. There's a novelty.
Well, someone's got to do the dirty work. But guess I just know the back streets better than you.
Backstreet casinos, maybe. And there's the family.
Yeah, funny. You know I lost my engagement ring for a reason, you know.
To a pawnbroker. What have we got?
Well, single homicide, victim is female, in her early 20s.
You got a name?
Alice Smith.
Smith. Well, that narrows it down.
Yeah.
Any sign to a motive?
None as yet, but an Alice Smith was reported missing some time ago.
Informed next of kin?
Well, there wasn't any. I mean, no known parents or siblings. Well, not that we can find anyway.
Well, keep looking. There can't be many Smiths in the city.
But there was a fiancé, but he's been missing for a number of years now.
Forensics here?
Been and gone. But there's not much for them to analyse, to be honest. I mean, everything's just been left as it was.
Who found her?
Bailiffs kicked the door in this morning. Apparently her bills were adding up.
I know the feeling. What was the time of death?
Well, that hasn't been ascertained as yet, but I'll tell you what, one thing we do know, she's been dead for 3 years.
What?
And that smell? Neighbours thought it was just the bin, so they didn't report anything.
Well, you'd have thought they'd have at least complained to the council.
Have you seen this place? The whole place is full of drug addicts. They don't care, they don't stay long enough. But one thing we did find was a load of fingerprints running down the walls. We can assume that it's just hers, but we can't get a match.
Why?
We'll see why.
That's all that's left of her. She's nothing but bones. So how did forensics make a positive ID?
Well, only from dental records. This Alice Smith's fingerprints aren't on file, and we can only assume that the fingerprints on the walls are hers. It doesn't really explain why she'd be scraping at the walls of her own flat.
Scraping. Interesting. So, how did you die?
Well, we don't really know that at the moment either. No signs of any bone damage or all internal and external injuries. Long gone, years ago.
A detective's worst nightmare.
Yep.
So you're telling me that's been on continuously for 3 years?
Yeah, gas and electricity were being paid for by a separate debit payment, and also she was on benefits at the time of her death because she was between jobs.
So that explains why she wasn't found sooner. With no friends or work colleagues to report her missing and her bills being paid for automatically, people must have just assumed she was a recluse.
Exactly. Killer must be jumping for joy. No signs of a victim, and when she was eventually found, all damage is long gone.
So was that just luck? Or was that planned? But if the gas and electricity were being paid for, how come the bailiffs broke in?
Well, her rent had been accumulating. That had been paid for from a separate and untraceable account at least 30 months after her death. And interestingly, those 30 months had been paid for in advance.
So, find the owner of that account, find our killer. The fiancé, perhaps?
Perhaps, but doesn't make him a killer just because he decided to pay the rent in advance.
Why did the payment suddenly stop? He must have known the 30 months were coming to an end. The killer having money troubles, do you think?
Who isn't? Not much of a lead.
Yeah, talking of leads, the telephone cable's being pulled out. Presumably so nobody could call.
Maybe she tripped over it as she was heading to claw at the walls.
Do another search. See if this Alice Smith had any family abroad who might have wanted to contact her.
Yeah. I've got a guy working on that at the moment. I'll go give him a call. Be back in a sec.
Bingo.
There definitely aren't any other family members. I've just come off the phone.
You're going to want to come and see this.
What is it? Is that?
Cocaine.
But that must be worth a couple £100.
Exactly.
Do you think this and the murder are connected?
I don't know. Perhaps she was tortured first for its whereabouts but never gave it up. Or perhaps it's a plant.
Who around here would have the money to buy that?
We need to see if there's any more hidden around here. It would make the difference between this being a drug den or a one-off deal. You take out in the kitchen. I'll continue in here.
Right. Hey, come and look at this.
What is it?
Just come here. Hey, come and take a look at this. Yeah, have a look.
Oh, mobile. A few years old by the look of it.
Fingerprints, that's exactly why I didn't just do
Be
that.
quiet. This might be our only lead. Oh, well, that's a surprise. It's actually still got some battery. Recent calls. Well, well, well.
What is it?
The only number on here is Des.
Des? Who's Des?
An old friend of mine. Used to sell every drug under the sun. Supposedly been clean now a couple of years since he had a kid.
So you know drug dealers now?
Oh yeah. We go way back. And I've got an address.
Where are we going?
To rekindle an old friendship.
We really shouldn't be doing this.
It's just a little off the record visit.
Perhaps I should leave you to do this. Let me go back and work on the case notes or something.
No, you're my assistant. Wherever I go, you go. Des.
Stag, what are you doing here? I told you I'm clean now.
I know. This is just a routine inquiry. Your name came up at a murder
And
scene.
you think it was right to come here in my front door and tell me this? Are you supposed to take me to the station or something?
Think of this more as a heads-up call. Seems we're old pals.
Do I know him?
I doubt it. He's pretty new, unlike me.
I've definitely seen his face before.
Know an Alice Smith?
Yeah, probably. I had a lot of clients who sold to back in the day when I used to sell them gear. But I told you I don't do that anymore.
You sell her any coke? This would have been about 3 years ago, mind you, I'll give you that.
Do you remember every little thing you did 3 years ago?
Let's see if I can jog your memory. What would the street value of that
Oh, are
be?
you kidding? Don't bring that here, please.
How much?
So, did you get what you wanted?
More than I thought.
Well, how much?
Come on. Where are we going? No, I'm going home.
Hello? It was a surprise to get your call. It's so late.
Yeah, well, I needed a new pair of eyes.
Oh, why's that?
Oh, I don't know. Been working with this new kid recently, but he's enthusiastic enough, don't get me wrong. But he's so by the book, you'd think his dad had written it.
One of those, eh? They have a couple of early successes and think they'll be at the top of the tree by Christmas. Look at me. 1 minute I'm stuck over at your station, next I'm stuck in this one. God only knows how you're still there.
You asked for a transfer. I didn't.
Well, that could be why, yeah. So to what do I owe this late night off the record meeting?
I want this dusted for prints. Exclude mine, of course, and then give me a call. Let me know what else you find.
Well, I can tell you one thing straight away. That's not what you think it is.
Well, what is it?
Had a guess, I'd say baking soda.
What the hell are you doing here?
Me? What are you doing here? This is a closed crime scene.
Exactly. I came to do a bit of off-the-record digging, but you?
Same. I was just doing that.
Hello?
So I brushed the bag's prints, as you requested.
And?
Did anyone other than you handle the bag?
No, it's been in a hideaway for 3 years.
Well, that's interesting, because I found another match.
What?
I see. Thanks for letting me know. So it was you all along. When did you plant the bag? The bag of cocaine. When did you plant it?
What?
Was it 3 years ago, when you killed your fiancée? Or was it just before I arrived on the scene?
I don't know what you're on about.
The only question that remains is, how did you kill her? Oh, I get it. Gas. Untraceable. Especially after 3 years. Clever. Let me guess. You fed it in through that air vent. Well, that's why she was scraping at the walls. She could feel herself slowly suffocating. And that's why Des recognised you. You used to be neighbours.
You're quick, I'll give you that.
So why did you do it? Did she refuse to leave you? Or did she find out about the gambling?
She thought she could stop me. Thought she could help me control it. It was never, ever gonna happen. But this is ideal now, isn't it? The only two people in the world who know of my guilt. And we're in exactly the same place. But unfortunately now I've had to change my plans. You see, I had intended on walking out through that door, but we both know that's not going to happen now. But at least this way you've managed to maintain your success rate. A fitting end, of course. All I need to do is repeat the crime, but this time let's add a little fire, shall we? No!